Principal of Indra Vande Harilal Ki Jai. Welcome everybody to our third session of Bhagwat. Before we go forward, let's all stand as we begin with Arti. Ladies, please cover your hair. Put your hands together to your chest, everybody. Welcome to everybody who's looking at us live or on the repeat. As we get set to do Arti, center your mind a little bit. Om Sajam Cha Varti Sanyuktam Grahina Yojitam Mayam Deepam Grihana Devesham Trailokyati Midapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan Ki है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घन श्याम यही राम यही घन श्याम यही प्रभु के महिमा के आरती everybody जय जय भागवत भगवान की Everybody, let's chant together tonight. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Hara Hara Hari Om Narayana. Hara Hara Hari Om Narayana.
Hara Hara Hari Om Narayana. Hara Hara Hari Om Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Everybody. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. 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 Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om. Together, everybody, let me pray.
Gajananam Bhutagana Kapeta Jumbo Umasutam Sho Namami Viganeshwaran Sarvamangalamangaliye
Shive Sarvatra Sadhike
Sharanye
Prayambike Gauri
Narayani
Namostute
Guru Brahma
Guru Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri.
Gurave Namah.
With one voice we do the 12 syllable mantra. In the course of today, we listened as it's the Guru Purnima day. We listened very early this morning to the teachings of Dattatreya according to Bhagavad Puran and all the gurus that he had learned from. He says, I learned from the earth, and from the earth I learned that no matter what is the condition, I have to be firm. No matter the burden, no matter the trouble, I should be firm and hold. Don't give up. Don't throw away yourself. Be like the earth. He says, I learned from the fire. My next guru was the fire. That no matter what the fuel is, whether it is solid like gas or a liquid as gas or solid as gasoline or firewood, inside of that material there's a flame waiting to come out. And he said, I learned that inside of me there's the potency and the potential for great power. And I practice honing my prayer, honing and developing me so that fire could come out. In this way, we learn in this yagya time and time again. As we've been listening to the Katha of Krishna, he's growing. He's growing. Tonight, we're getting ready to see him leave Vrindavan. He's getting ready to leave, and when he's leaving, it causes a lot of pain. It says that when a person is burdened by hardship and hard circumstance, you ask yourself, how, if God loves me, how could I be the victim to a circumstance of hardship and bad days and bad ways. Tonight in this discourse, he deals with it. But one way a person could overcome it, 12 syllable mantra is so potent. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together everybody, for all the troubles you face on a day-to-day basis, it's just us home here. Wherever you are looking on, say a prayer in the privacy and the comfort of where you are. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One last time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Everybody, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. Give Auntie prayer. Tonight, as I welcome each and every one of you, to all my pundits, Siddharam, welcome. Pandit, Adish, you have to turn. You have to turn. As we continue this evening, we enter again Skandha 10, or the 10th book of Bhagavad Puran. In our introduction, in the first part, I explained how this book is the most popular Puran that in the Sanatanis of all the Purans we have. The content of this book, it is considered to be like a gospel of bhakti. It teaches a person how to feel. When we say the word bhakti, yes, we mean devotion. But sometimes we say it, but we don't know what it means. So in this case, it illustrates for the person, this is what it means. In the atmosphere of like a leela, a play, God is unfolding himself in the lives of many people. If you agree with me, whenever we listen to Krishna Katha, we learned in the last one where the history of the name Govind, of all the names he has. What that Govind, how did he end up so close to cows? How did we get that? How did we get there? We take it for granted that we hear that he came to lessen the burden. But if somebody really were to ask you questions about your dharma, a lot of the information about our Krishna is misguided. You may show you an example. In front of you have a wonderful picture with Radha and Krishna. Do you know that that picture is not real? That did not happen. Imagine that happened in heaven, but not when he was Krishna on the earth. Radha, the reason we are blowing the sank when the prayer is going on, the reason why Lord Vishnu has a sank in his hand, somebody says, as a Hindu, I'm not a Hindu. I see when all they have prayers, all they just go for seashell and well blow it. Why you just do that? Little questions, honest, innocent questions. Mommy, I am afraid when Baba blow this thing. Why we just do that for? Innocent, not in any way disrespectful. Answer the question. I really know, Baba. I grew up seeing mommy them doing it, so I really never asked that question. I don't know. But it have a rule date. When you hear song blowing, you're supposed to bend your head. It is considered inappropriate behavior if you don't bend that head whenever a song is being bellowed, especially if it's your puja. And the reason, just to give you a nutshell, to build the point, when the husband, before that, one day Radha in heaven now, waiting for Kanha to come home in Golok. And Sudama and Krishna are not coming quickly. I'm referring to Brahm Vaivat Puran. This is not in Bhagavad. And Radha is known as a very high-tempered Devi. And she feels like he's doing this on purpose. So she's getting angry. And when she heard the voice coming, she's waiting for it. And when they open the door, instead of she sees Krishna, she sees Sudama, and she started to quarrel. Why are you not here? When are you coming home? And they tell me you're coming. She started like that. Sudama being the love of Krishna. Could you imagine somebody, you love God, you love your dharma. Imagine somebody came and started to ill speak and abuse and curse and quarrel with your Murti, your God. Now, this is his friend. This is his liming partner, as we see. And he sees when the wife starts to yell, scream, quarrel with him. This is somebody he worshipped. So he got very emotional and he says, oh, you cannot speak to him like that. I cannot allow you to speak to the Lord of this universe like that. If you don't love him, if you don't appreciate him, when they go upon the earth, you will have for 100 years live without him. You will not be able to get married to him. So in truth, when in our Bhagavad discourse Krishna comes upon the earth, Radha had already been born. So she sees him as part of this curse. She sees him, but she cannot get him. She's not of the same age bracket. She's older. So there was never a time where they were like this. This happens in heaven. When Radha heard what Sudama says, she says, you forget who you're talking to. You are talking to me, the goddess, the Jagat Janani, the mother of this whole universe, as if your mouth, as if you're a sinful person. Go born on the earth as a demon. You want to speak like that? Be like that. And Sudama takes the form of Shankachod, the husband of that Tulsi plant we are all worshipping for this Yagnas. And when, as the Katha with the Shaligram comes, and Lord Vishnu destroys Shankachod, when the Lord Shiva had fought Shankachod and they took up the headless body, and all the goblins, everybody who is on Lord Shiva's side, they are wailing that they've won the war, and they were about lifting the body to throw it into the fire. Lord Vishnu comes and he says, no, wait. Don't do it. Wait. That is still my bhakt. That is still my devotion, my devotee. Wait, don't do him that. Let this birth he has taken as a demon. Imagine this. As a demon, he's in a bad way. Shankachud by no means was an easy fella. He was trouble. But because of who he is, throw his body into the ocean. And let from his bone come all the seashells. And from those seashells, I, Vishnu, will always be associated with it. From Shankachod came the Shank. Lord Vishnu always has it in his hand. Watch his hand. When Krishna is going in Gita to battle, the first thing he does, he pulls out his Shank and he bellows it. That wherever the body of Sudama is, and it's bellowed, the vibration that comes from the Shank, unrighteous, unclean, people with secondary motive, bad intention, they cannot stay, they have to go. So when the arati, when the prasad, when key moments are happening, when darshan is happening, the Shank is always bellowed to protect the devotee while they are doing their worship. For this reason, not only with the Shank, but if you ever see people have on Govardhan Day, the day after Diwali, there's a prayer with numerology. If the house number, numerology is if you add up the house number. This is just a tidbit of information. If your house number is 315, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9. Anytime the number adds up to 9, it is not a good thing. So on that day, people take the smaller seashell on two sides of Lord Vishnu and they do puja for it. And after they read the particular part, to the left side and the right side of the front of the home. They tie it. When this is done, things like a lot of argument, financial problems, a lot of problems that in the home, because of the sunk and the prayer therein, it nullifies, it starts to calm down. When people have business place and the place can't get tenanted, or it has a lot of discord, a lot of separation, a lot of trouble, watch the house number. When people want to buy property and you hear somebody say, let me check that land before we buy it, this is one parameter that they check. This is how they know, okay, good or not so good, depending on the number. But it all ties to this. Because of this Shraap, Radha does not get to marry him. Radha is not together with him in that way. In your mind, in your dharma, when we sing bhajan and we are chanting, I want you to remember that, because the Radha Krishna story that we sing about where they are together is when they're in Golok, when they're in heaven. But upon the earth, he marries Rukmini, he marries different forms, but not Radha Devi. In our discourse tonight, as we continue, we are building on the knowledge and clarifying some of the discourses that sometimes the Hindu doesn't know, because we just don't know. So if you don't know it, how will you practice within yourself belief that I believe in God, I understand that he did this, I understand that he does that, and he will do it for me? Think what I mean there. In the same way, we started with where he was very young and he guides the gopis when they were bathing in the Yamuna. In our last discourse, we did Govardhan Katha, and now this is the Katha where he's about to leave Vrindavan. Please put your hands together as we do Sumiran before we go into this discourse. Ask God, ask him for the blessing, for the Katha that is about to be unraveled in front of me, Prabhu. Bless me to have the blessing, the Vardhan of Krishna in my life. Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadhana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Badambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Ganapati Kripa Nidhan Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavanam Jehu Mohi Vardhan Varno Bhasha Bhagavatam Jai Shiva Ananda Kanda Bhutanata Bhauvayarana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gauravadana Mangala Karna He Braj Chandra Mukunda Brajabhushana Dushana Hadana Katahu Bhavaya Panda Charana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Jam Mahima Mevata Bheva Veda Veda Janata Rahe Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadhana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Badambar Madana Kadana Kilaloko Sumiro Badambar Madana Kadana Kilalako. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki Jai. You know, sometimes when bad things happen to you and I, we become very despondent. And for some people, they give up. To be honest, people start to talk, well, better I kill myself. Better I stop fasting. Better I stop praying. Better, you see this, it just don't make sense. No matter what I do, bad coming. What are you praying for? When you watch the news, it's very depressing. We are sitting here tonight and Pandit BP up Tableland with Komal missing right now. You saw that child grow up in front of you. Komal Maharaj. You saw everybody sharing it on Facebook and all that. Could you imagine, forget the person, just for 2 seconds, forget the person who missing. Think about the parent. When Videsh was killed in his yard, Pandit Mohan's son, the other day. Forget the person. Think about the parent. We went to invite them for the yag. And the mother says, we don't go out anymore. Many people, with this last remit of crime, when we did the invitation, consider where we reached. Pandit, I assure. I want to sit down, I want to take part. I love it. But I assure. For the elders sitting here tonight, did you ever think we would have reached to the point we had to hire security for when you have jug to watch outside? For many people, when you see problems like this, give up. Bad things always was happening to our little star boy, Lord Krishna. We enter into chapter 36, Skandha 10. And let us just look at how he handles some of the stress. Remember, this is not Gyan Yagya. Gyan Yagya, he would have said, do this, do that, put milk inside the lota and offer it. This is the feelings. This Yagya, Bhagavad Yagya. Bhagavad means the body of Vishnu is in the text, Bhagwan. And by understanding the feelings of Bhagavad, Bhakti, then the person is able to follow suit by the activity of the Devata called Krishna. Let's hear what happens in this first sloka. As Sukdev Goswami is telling Raja Parikshit, a demon came looking for him. This is after Govardhan. And another attack by Kans, his uncle. Another one. This one, his name is Arishta. He is coming now. He has taken the form of a huge bison, a huge bull. And he is so rough and powerful. He's digging the earth. Gobar, urine all over the place. But he's huffing steam. He's come to kill. The children are on the Govardhan Parbat, walking with all their cattle, doing their duty. Let's hear what happens. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha. Everybody. Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Krishna Krishna Yati Te Sarva Govindam Sharanayuyoha Bhagavan Yapi Sarvyakshadetam Golokaham Gokulye Nayatam Brajaye Hayatam Jai Radha
Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
This powerful beast takes form and he waits for the moment when the boys are not at their home where parents could help. But the young boys are one side tending to the animal. And this beast with his huge horns
wants to rush and focus only on Krishna. Whilst the other boys were running, Krishna, 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 look! Because the impending lash is coming, they could see the animal with intention, focusing, digging, scuffing the earth. Krishna knew the true identity of who that was. This Arishta was sent by Kans. Go and try to kill him. Krishna didn't hesitate, but he says, come, come. It is time for you to come home. You want to come home? Come. Agrahe yatam vishwaye nataha vishwaye sangalosana arishtaka udiye nayakam turani indrahe mukti mukti pasyataye ayati jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. When the beast charged, Krishna held on to the horn, and as much force as the beast pushed forward, Krishna pushed back, equally matching the force. They couldn't move forward or back. And with the strength of Krishna in his little form, he starts to ring. One horn came off, the other horn came off, and in a choking posture, the animal being so squeezed started to vomit blood. The eyes start to roll back, and Krishna smiled as he says it was time for this blessed, listen to the word he used, this blessed person, that it was his merit that has brought him to die at the hands of God. And I've come myself to receive him. O Arishta, accept the burden that you have gained. Evam yaha kutumbe ayate vishwaye ayatam swabhi ayate vishwaye ayate goshi ayaham gopinathayaham ye vishwayate. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. In that swift movement, he took the life of this Arishta, and the body transformed back into a human with scary features. And Krishna playing the part of friend to all the gopas, to all the male, all the boys that are with him. He says, friend, let's forget this. I don't know what this is, but let's continue to play. And when all this was happening and they continued, they did not tarry or fall back or in any way their duty. Narad Muni was looking on from the sky. Narad Muni sees what went on, and he goes quick to the house of Kans to tell Kans all that went on. He says, O Rajan, now Kans, the Mamu of Lord Krishna, he is very perturbed. He's trying, he's been sending one demon after the other, and they all fail. Narad Muni comes and he says, O great Rakshas, you send that big bull, that big bison, and no matter who you send, you're going to fail. You have failed again. That soul was accepted into the body of Krishna. Why don't you send more? Send all your forces, go yourself, because one day he's going to come for you. When he said like this, you could imagine Kans porting. He started to worry more. And then he thinks up of a strategy.
very intelligent man. In order for us to win this, this has to stop. He calls all of his ministers together and he says, Mustika, Chanu, Sala, Toshala, all the great demonic ministers, all the advisors, all the people that could have given him good advice, but robs him of it and instead encourages him to do more bad. It is time now for us to make a plan. I am going to invite the sons of Vasudeva who are staying by Nand in that village, in that place called Gokul or Vrindavan. His two sons are the sons of Vasudeva and Devaki. It is foretold that they are coming to destroy me. Before they come to destroy me, oh brothers, let us prepare a huge arena. Let us prepare a huge construct that we will make it so as if we are doing big yag. There is something called Dhanur Yagya. Dhanur, another word for the bow of Lord Shiva. On the Chaturdasi day, in the dark half, we are going to worship Shiva. We are going to do this yag. If we have murti, we have different shaligram. In this yag, you are using only the bow and doing the worship for the bow, for the form of Lord Shiva. Different animals are going to be sacrificed. Different forms of goblin and bad magic, dark magic will be worshipped, so that the day I lift that bow in a battle, all that unclean, tamasic type of force will be ready at my beck and call. But when we are having the yag, we will need ingredients for the yag. We will need the milk, the dahi, the butter. So send a message to Nanda Baba and let him know I am the king for this area and I need his supplies. Let him ready himself and bring those things. And when they come, let him come with his sons. And when they come, be ready that you must destroy those two boys. Don't give them an inch. Destroy them. Don't let them be happy. Don't let them be in any way comfortable or brave. Do not give them an iota of mercy. But I weave this web of fakeness and the whole leela of prayer and a wrestling match associated with the prayer. So in our prayer we have puja and we have singing and we have cooking. In their case they have prayer by the bow and then they have wrestling to show the strength and the merit of all the soldiers. But in this case we are going to encourage Krishna. In this age they are around 11 years old. Let them come and fight our great warriors. And when they come to fight, don't spare them. Chanur asks him, who will you send to deliver this message? If we go with our horrific features, none will never come. You have to send somebody who is very calm, docile, somebody who they will want to listen to. He says, listen to this part. He says, I will send no stranger. I want to entrap these people. I want to destroy these people. I am going to send somebody they trust. I am going to get someone who is related to the target, so that when they see the face that they are related to, they will not think, they will not assume that trouble, death, and destruction is walking into their yard. I will take a same Yadhu member, the Yadhu dynasties where they come from. Vasudeva is a member of that family. And his cousin is Akrura. Akrura works, he remains in the employment of Kans. So he goes, Kans goes and he tells him, oh charitable person, oh friendly to all persons, Akrura, I have a job for you. and you work for me. Remember, I'm the king, and I depend on your service. He says, "Oh Rajan, tell me whatever I have to do. It is my job to satisfy your needs, and I will do it." What is it? Please describe it to me. He says, "I depend on you because I need you to go and bring your relatives. Go to Vrindavan, where Nand is the head of the village, and fetch for me the two sons of Vasudeva. Bring them in your chariot. Let there be no delay. And when you go, speak with loving words. I will give you gifts to take for them, entice them, sweeten them. Use whatever means and mechanism to get them to come. If there is any resistance, tell the father, Nand and Yashoda, that we are doing Danu Yagya, and I need ghee, I need milk, and I command them that they must come. Let them pack up all their bull carts laden with goblets, filled to the brim with ghee and other items. And they will have to come to deliver those things to me. And when they are coming, let them bring their sons. Why? I am going to kill those children. I am not going to let them live. I am going to kill them when they enter into the Yagyashala. I will have a big elephant waiting there to destroy them. If that elephant fail, I will have wrestlers who look like wrestlers, but they are demonic people. They will not fight with rules. They will use different prayer to harm and weaken and destroy them. Oh, Akrura, I can tell you this because you are on my side. This is what my intentions are. To bring about the death of Balram and Krishna. To massacre the heart of Vasudeva. To destroy Ugrasena, my father. He wants to call them his loving grandsons. He loves them more than he loves me. My own father doesn't love me. And for that, Ugrasena is still in the jail. Remember, when it was Krishna Janam night, and he was carrying the wedding of Devaki, his sister, and Vasudeva, his Bahanoi, his brother-in-law. When he heard the Akashvani, he chose Vasudeva and Devaki in the jail. But Ugrasena says, no, you can't do that. How could you lock up? You now wash the man's foot in the wedding. You now worship your brother-in-law. How could you go and throw the man in jail now? And for that, he locks up Ugrasena, the old king, and throws him into the jail. Still there. He says, who will love me? He says, since the days of youth when I got married, Jarasandhya, my father-in-law, those people love me. Sambara, Naraka, Narakasur, Banasur, they are my friend and they have allegiance to me. When my own family does not want to work with me, they don't want to support me, I am supported by others that work with me. That no matter how vile, how cruel, how unrighteous my thoughts and deeds are, when my family is trying to stop me from doing it, I overcome them. I disregard them. There is nothing going to stop me. Akrura, listening to this very smart individual, says if I stop him, if I tell him don't do it, we shouldn't do it, I will end up like Ugrasena in the jail in shackles. But this is my moment. He is sending me, and I get to do the working of the universe. What does he tell him? O king, whatever you intend for me to do, that is what I will do. Many people sometimes misinterpret this Akrura. But what he was saying is that he accepts the job because, as we'll hear in the next chapter, he is going to see Krishna, touch Krishna, and he doesn't want to lose it. Akrura says to himself, a man builds castles high in the sky and makes many plans in his mind. Verse 39. And not one day will think about this thing called destiny. Not one day will he think, who am I building this castle in the sky for? Will I have somebody to give it? Watch how, in secret, somebody could pose a danger to the younger generation. And a father in this case is engaged, locked away. And somebody's conspiring to kill his son and his daughter, his family. He tried to kill Durga Mata. He killed so many of his children in that jail cell. Look at how this is. A person so blind, they will buy, put, place, and not one day study. Will it have somebody? Will I live to see this construction finished? Will I live to see somebody grow up to hand it over? Why did I build it? Who is it for? He says instead, people experience joy and sorrow by the measurement of what they accrue or what they fight and steal and get. But what is the point of fighting and stealing and getting? How much of it will you be able to get? Look at this fool, Kans. Look at him. He is still fighting. He is still doing as if he will live forever. He does not think that one day it all has to be given away. I am not going to tell him otherwise. Let me leave him to reap what he is sowing. Vindravande Harilalaki. In the next chapter, let's hear what happens. Akrura started, you could imagine the person going home to tell the wife, make preparation, he has to go on a journey. Whilst that is happening, Kans cannot rest. He says, okay, she, another demon, come, take the form, you have a burden from prayer. Now bear in mind, everybody here is human by birth. But because of the black magic, because of the potency of their prayer, and these people pray for power, they don't do like us and fast and want to do sattvic prayer. They do pray, dear God, give me the benefit of this prayer, so that anytime I say that mantra, I will mash up my family. I will take a form and destroy them. I will hammer them. And the author is putting them for children to understand, like in the cartoons that we see. They look like beasts, but bear in mind, the truth is, they are very good looking. They are very pretty. Potna was no horrible looking person. So beautiful was Potna that the mother, every mother here, somebody, 1 month old baby, somebody say, come, sister, I would like to hold your baby and I'm going to breastfeed your baby. Your antenna don't start to ring. But this girl looks so divine that Yashoda Mata, the mother of all mother, decided that she must be a Devi come upon this earth. Look at how pretty she is, and made a judgment and said, well, you have to be divine if you look so nice. If you have so much a nice, pleasant ways, you cannot be something unrighteous. My child cannot be in trouble. Hand over the baby. Not knowing what was going to happen. In the same way, now Keshi is taken form. Keshi, you have the ability, you have the ability to become a very wild horse. You have the ability to kick with a great amount of strength. Go, and when the children come close to you, when they come close to you and they think you're a beautiful animal, nice tail, beautiful, coat of hair on your body, damage the one that is my nephew. Kill only him. Kill only him. So imagine, many people buy the pit bull, but you don't expect it to bite your own hand. Things happen. This is an example of that. Something, danger could come into your life, and you don't see the risk in it. You just see the pretty face and the pretty features and the facility that it will bring for you. Imagine the parent buy the nice car, the child wanted the sports car, but I didn't see the risk in it. I didn't think what could happen with it, and it would damage only my child. Oh God, Baba, if I the only thinker, people is do the same thing. And I put tile in my yard. Tile looking nice now. Give me 20 years. The same tile becomes a pestilence. The same tile could cause slipping, falling. The same step we build and it looked nice in the house could be the trouble for all of us one day. The same thing that you hold and say, oh, it looks so nice. I love it. I find joy in it. The car, the nice things that we have. You don't see the risk in it. And same thing happened here. Khan sends a beautiful horse. And the horse just casually walk into the village. And of course, you know children, they rush out to meet the beautiful animal. Let's hear what happens in this slope.
Shiva Om, Shakti Om, Hari Om, Narayanaya, Krishnaya, Paramatmaya, Namo Namah, Narayanaya,
Krishnaya, Paramatmaya, Namo Namah.
Salavya Daitya Puruyate, Keshin Vyadhaya Keshi Tatavar Dvityate Dvijaye Vrakta Chatura Bhujaye Keshaha Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya, Namo Namah. Narayanaya, Krishnaya, Paramatmaya, Namo Namah.
Seeing the beautiful animal with a wonderful gait, with a wonderful walk, calm, gentle eyes, doesn't look ferocious. The children come out and they start to rub and masawi and play. Krishna saw what was inside, the intention, the demonic truth. And he went up and he started to play with the head, the jaw, started to play. And Keshi, when he recognized Krishna, he wanted to bite him with the sharp teeth of a horse. The front teeth is very sharp and he wants to snap at him. And he caught hold on the arm with his mouth and he didn't want to let go. All the children are bawling. The children are worried Krishna is in trouble. Krishna is in trouble. Krishna is only laughing. Krishna is only laughing. Balram is saying, look, he's doing it again. When Kalia was here and everybody was worried that the poison would kill him, he went and he danced on the fangs of Kalia and everybody was worried, everybody was crying. Yashoda Mata was throwing down herself. And Balaram stood up and he says, oh, just give him a chance, give him a chance. He has to do his work.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Papa Panila Bhedhangya Vyasuraj Vishwayekshitam Vasutam Vishwadev Karka Kutumba Papaniye Yahi Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya, Namo Namah. Narayanaya, Krishnaya, Paramatmaya, Namo Namah.
When he held on to the hand, Krishna reaches with the other hand to the neck and he holds on to the jugular, to the choking area. And no matter how that horse tried to fling and throw and kick, tries to kick Balram, Balram take the kick and stood laughing. Lord Vishnu collected a kick, Krishna collected a kick on his chest, and he says that does, and in another night I'll give that discourse. He says that is not the kick that stamped on his chest. He says somebody kicked me on my chest one day and I got an imprint on the chest of Lord Vishnu. He says that little kick, you are tickling me. And Krishna reaches onto the throat, and just as a person will squeeze a very ripe cucumber, Sukdev Goswami, according to verse 9, says he squeezed the life out of this being, this negative being. He says, Sukdev Goswami says tears started to flow from the eyes of Narad. Narad, standing in Vaikunt, was watching the Leela unfold. And he says, look at how
When a person prayed to get the Bardhan, everybody wants to get mukti. But look, Keshi is getting his mukti. The hands of Krishna are accepting him. No matter the Leela, just as Sudama has to come in the form of a demon, so too great people comes in the form of these demonic forces to end their existence, their last janam, at the hand of Krishna. Narad Muni started to cry to witness this. And he says, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go. And imagine Narad Muni comes just as Keshi the horse was killed. Krishna is playing, I don't know what happened. He bit me, but I didn't do anything. I was tickling him. I don't know what happened to the horse. Somebody come and see. Narad Muni comes one side to talk to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Prematya, Yogeshwara, Jagadishwara, Vasudev Sutta Salaye Satatam, Pravakshati Sarvaye Sada, Narayanaya Krishnaya, Paramatmaya Namo Namah,
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Narad Muni started to pray that I am so fortunate not to only hear but to see darshan, darshan. Many people hear that word. We've been saying it and we'll say it more. Darshanam. Darshanam is the type of prayer, bhakti. When Sri Ram is speaking with Shabri Mata, he describes the 9 forms of bhakti. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation, one form of devotion is offering on the baby. One. It is not the only one. Suppose, Baba, as a lady, unclean or somebody dies, so that means I can't do prayers. Suppose I'm in a hospital and the hand can't lift to say Jai or make an offering, so that means I can't do an offering. He says, no. Practice listening to the prayer, Shravanam. The whole of Bhagavad is somebody sitting down. Parikshit has 7 days to die. And he sits and he listens to it. This is the grandson of Arjun from the copy of the Bhagavad Gita. His grandson is the person listening to all that we are listening to. Listen to it, Shravanam, and you will get the blessing as if you did the prayer. Darshanam is watch it, witness it. Why do you stand when arti going on? Stand up and see how the light is being offered around the murti. And by witnessing the prayer, you get the blessing as if you've done the prayer. This is why, if you happen to watch me on television, it still gives you the blessing. I still get to hear it, and I still get to see it, although I may not get to ingest the prasad. I may not get to smell the smoke. I didn't get to offer the puja with my hand. But the truth is, if you're in the audience, just like if you're in your living room, or wherever you're watching, you are still able to get the benefit of this prayer by the practice of darshanam now. Darshanam is what them long time older heads used to see. Your Puaha Bhagavad, we go in there to watch the prayers. People are smart. Them is not like young people like we, That we just want to sit down in the back so we could go on the phone. But the older heads used to sit in the front row. Nobody going to obscure the line of vision. They want to see the prayer. By seeing the prayer, you get the blessing as if you did the prayer. Please remember that. If somebody says, I hear it have wedding, I'm going to see, I'm going to witness the wedding, I'm going to witness wedding, fancy word for sanskar. More prayer. When a person gives you the invitation to go to puja, what are you going for? To eat? That's part of it. But it's also to see and listen to the prayer. Listen to the song. Hear it. See when the arti, the offering of the heat and the light energy to the Devta is being given. I witness it. I get the blessing as if I did that. That is the game you are playing. But now I don't have to fast. I don't have to do all the preparation. That person had to bend their foot for an hour and a half. Good. I get to sit down in a chair comfortable. And with the same comfort, get all the blessing. You see how the older people were smart?
Narad Muni is crying and he says, Prabhu, I got to see, I had the darshan, to see in real time how you are treating with all your devotees. You are called Kriparaj. You, when everybody else damns a person. Dattatreya this morning, he was saying that he had 24 Guru. Today's Guru Purnima. And for some people, they look for the most knowledgeable. Some people look for the best singer. Some people look for the best musician. That's my Guru. He taught me drum. That's my Guru. He taught me the art of doing surgery for the doctor. You could have Diksha Guru, the Pandit by the Bedi. You could have Vidya Guru, the one who teaches you in school. The dancer, the cook, who teaches the art of doing something. So in that discourse, they asked Dattatreya, Prabhu, who is your Guru? And he says, I have 24 Guru. And yes, he talked about the earth. Yes, he talked about the fire. He talked about some strange things. In one of it, he says, the prostitute is my Guru. Me and you, if a person has a shady background, if a person makes mistakes, people ill speak and cry down and beat people because of the mistakes they make. Krishna, on the other hand, is the one who goes to help people like that. He accepts people like that. And for that reason, there's no limit to who could come, who could have darshan or shravanam of Krishna's puja. In the same way, Narad Muni tells him, you accept all. You do not show favoritism. You do not hate some and love others. Imagine we had a God who only loved people who pray like him or to him. People who look like one race of people or a particular gender. Imagine God only loved some but didn't love the others. But then God make everybody. Very confusing statement if you follow that. Krishna says on the other hand, I love all. I show nobody. You could have what surname, you could have what in your pocket, you could be what complexion, you could be thin, fat, short, tall. Nobody better than anybody. There's no favorite. If you have the right attitude, if you have the right karma, then I will take you. Chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita, he says, the attitude of compassion. You have that, I'll take you. You are my devotee. The compassion means I created the dog, the cat, the human, every rich, poor, everybody. And you could find it within your heart to feed the dog, to offer the bird a piece of fig. That compassion for what I created, you have the right modus. But imagine you care to only feed the rich man and the poor man. But I love God's creation. I respect everybody. Wrong. Then you're praying to some, but you don't love all of God's creation. Narad Muni says, I got to see you. He says, Prabhu, and I'll get to see you do more. A battle is coming up in your future. Your uncle is sending somebody for you. Krishna, you who blow the sank, you who have so much potency, you are getting ready. You will have the lila with the parijat flowers when you take it from Indra. You who lifted the Govardhan hill, when you get married to Rukmini, when you go and fight Nirga, when you go and build Dwarka, I will get to see all of these things. Thank you for the opportunity to witness your Leela. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to hear and to learn and to be able to accept it. But no, trouble is coming. Narad Muni departed, and the word reached back to Kans. Another one of your demons died. And Kans does what? He doesn't take wrong. He doesn't heed any idea that maybe I should change my plan. Maybe he is really the all-powerful Mahavishnu. He sends one more Vyoma. Another Asur, another demon versed in black magic. This one takes the form of a little boy. So I'm explaining because the children see it in their cartoon. And if the Pandit, for purpose of time, shortcut these discourse, then they will wonder, am I seeing the truth? I never heard that in Katha. This one looks like one of the Gopas. He's a little boy, but how did he look different? The eyes were bloodshot red. And he came when they were tending to the cattle, like a wolf amongst sheep, innocent children, playing, eating, sharing one another food. But this one waited until Krishna reclined and he was sleeping, and the little boy came to choke him while he was sleeping. Sukdev Goswami says, look at how people plot to rob you of the little joys and the little good that you have or could have. The potential of tomorrow is sometimes robbed by negative people like this, that in the dead of sleep, beasts and all forms of unrighteousness are plotting for you. The person should, Parikshit, turn to Krishna in times like this to find a solution. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Krishna holds on to this little form and tosses him up into the tree. And in that moment, in that little fight that ensued, takes his life as well. Remember, he takes form when the cow, in our last discourse, when the cow says, please come upon the earth, I have too much unrighteousness, too much of negative people on my back. He says, I will come to lessen the burden of all that you are burdened with. And this is how he's doing it one by one. Let's hear what happens. Akrura is getting ready, he's on the chariot and he's taking the drive to go and find Vrindavan. And he's thinking to himself, he isn't far. He thinks to himself, what an opportunity, what auspicious deed did I do to be the person to go and meet Krishna. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Yadachita Brahma Shiva Surya Shriyam Jeshita Munibhyo Samba Ko Charanayita Ye Yati Aditi Bhavasa Dharayati Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. He says, what great deed did I commit? That I am this person. Imagine Brahma could have done this. Shiva could have done this. But I am given this opportunity. What will I say? When Kaushik, when Indra came and bowed his head at the foot of Krishna. No matter how bad Indra was, Krishna still accepted him. When Lord Vishnu takes his Vaman form and Bali tells him tie the Raksha on his hand, Vishnu still accepted him. He puts him to work, in fact. No matter I am being sent, I am deputed by Kans, and I am coming here with hostile intention. I am going to carry them for a battle. Krishna will see who I am. No matter my background, no matter my purpose, no matter how I've reached here, I know I have full confidence. He will not judge me wrong. He will accept me. Surya, Surya, Gatiyati. Akrura, ye devyo yatam. Pariyate Vishwamanyate. Siddhi parati rata yatrayati. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Hear this one. He's making plan. Imagine the person full of anticipation and so excited. He says, when I reach there, they're going to call me Uncle Akrura. They will remember I am their uncle through the cousin of Vasudeva, their father, and they will look to me with loving smiles. And they will accept me, they will hug me, they will hold on to me. He says, after all, does a tree choose who it will give shade to? Does a tree choose which bird will pick at its fruit and which one cannot pick at its fruit? Will my God, this umbrella for the world, will he choose not to accept me? Will he look at me and say, I am a degraded person, I am a bad person, I have no hope? Or will he, like the true tree that he is, offer me shelter and shade, nourishment, no matter my background, no matter my purpose, no matter what is bringing me here, I am still here. If he's accepting all those demons and he could take them and put their Jew into his chest, never to be reborn again, who am I? And when he's thinking like this with all this hope, Akrura arrives in Vrindavan. And a long description of how calm and beautiful the place was. He was paying attention to the scenery, how blessed this ground is. This Govardhan is so blessed that his little foot is able to print here. And this is where, if in bhajan you hear somebody says Kishori or Kishore, Kishori is a description of somebody, a boy child, Kishora, if he is between the age of 11 and 15. He uses this word to describe this young boy, you know, the voice now cracking. This age of puberty is coming in. And he goes looking for them. He doesn't meet with anybody, he wants to see them. And he finds these Kishori Lal in the Gaushala, in the shed where they had mother them tied, and they were milking the cow, playing, touching the cow, collecting the gobar and the Gaumutra. And he sees them. And in that moment, he gets the Bardhan, the Ashivad of that darshan, of seeing them do their work and their labor. Look how simple they are. When somebody says, God cannot do it, some people would say, there are many discourses with this. If God is the big God, the Lord Vishnu and the Sheshnag, all the different things, make the sun and the moon and all, how could he fit in his little boy's body? How is it possible that he, with all his mass, energy and potency, fit in this body? And tonight, please remember this stupid pundit point. Sometimes we try to belittle our God by our limited understanding. Sometimes when somebody gets cancer, they have a family problem, a financial problem, God could help this. I believe when things are going good, I'll do my prayer, Jai Vishnu, big flag in front of the house, good. But when it had cheating in the marriage, when the money can't come, when the cancer is there, I wonder if God could really help with this. God could do that. There are people in Hinduism, there's a discourse that explains other dharma, why we have other religion. And in it, it explains why we don't criticize. If you're a true Hindu, you're not so weak that you have to criticize and condemn somebody else's faith to make yours strong. Leave that for other people. People who like to think that God could live in my building, but my God, who is as high as the sky and wide as the ocean, cannot live in your building. Hinduism, on the other hand, says, if God made the entire universe, maybe there's a blue person. So you saw in a movie called Avatar, they took the Hindu concept and they put it in the movie. Maybe there's a form where we don't know, an elephant head with a human body. Maybe there are complex forms and forces that we are not familiar with that may exist in another place or dimension.
The concept of Hinduism and parallel universe and all these things, today we are bombarded by it in TV because of how much sense it makes when they get into their scientific experiment. But when you limit God, when you say God cannot do this, God could only love this race of people, God could only love these people that pray with this method, why can't God love all that He created? If God is God and God made everybody, who are you and I to try in our limited capacity to say God cannot do this and God cannot do that? In fact, be like Narad Muni. And I love him, I'm rubbing his foot every day. I am Narad Muni and I still don't know him, not a Inca amount. Every time you watch Narad Muni, it seems as if he's still learning. He now knows this. I didn't know that. I now learned this. I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that. Be like that persona. That every time you get a little iota of information, a dream, something, I didn't know where dreams come from. I didn't know why we blink when you're listening to Navratri discourse. And you hear it for the first time. As you are becoming full, learn more about what you didn't know. Akrura says, in this moment, he feels so full to see how it is amazing that that persona that is able to do all of the work in this universe is playing the part of a little boy now milking a cow. When they came together and they bow and they do all the nice meet and greet and they feed him and all those things, Krishna speaks and he says, "Dear uncle," and as he said it, Akrura says, "Look what I was telling him in my mind. Look, he just did it. With love, he calls me Chacha. Dear uncle, it has been some time since I thought about my parents because I don't know them. My mamu, my maternal uncle, my mother's sister, he is always attacking me. He is always coming with some ridiculous scheme to harm and hinder. Do you know it is because of me my parents are locked away in a jail cell? Despite their innocence, despite who good and how nice they are, look at how they are suffering." Akrura says, no matter how much they suffer, they never forget you. You may forget them, but they are holding on to you. He says, yes, but look at how they are tested. That mother of mine, Devaki, I heard he never see mother face. He says that person they call Devaki had to live to see not one, not two, but 6 sons bash their heads against the wall. She had to live to see the blood. And Kans is so cruel to his sister that he leaves the blood stain on the wall. That she has to live like that. Oh, uncle, because of me. And Akrura says that your birth was supposed to be like this. They are experiencing their karma. Leave them. Soon all will be fixed. This is why I am here. He says, uncle, tell me what is the purpose for your visit after so long, uncle? You never come. Today you come. What is the purpose of this? He says, your mamu is doing yagya for the bow of Lord Shiva. And in it he has recruited great amount of demons. And they are waiting like serpents to grab and rip you and your brothers to pieces. Today I've been asked to come like the bringer of death to transport you and your brother Balram to where your mamu is waiting to kill you. They are waiting for you in the capital city of Mathura. Will you go with me? Or are you going to remain here? Krishna says, for me to see my mother, for me to be with the people I have come from, the people of Mathura, what an opportunity it will be for me to see who my mamu is. And he says, without a doubt, without a delay, I am going with you, my uncle, my chacha. When this set moment, this joyful moment happened here. All the girls that was watching and peeking to see what was the conversation, who is this person. One girl heard what Krishna says, and she run back and she start to carry news and tell everybody Akrura is his uncle and he has come to take Krishna away from us. These are the same girls who did the Katyayani birth. These are the same children he protected when he lifts the Govardhan Parbat. They have become so attached to him. The love is so deep. The friendship, the love, male and female, is holding on to Krishna. They consider Krishna as their own. There is nobody that has him. It is only ours. He belongs to us. The beauty of his cheeks, the color of his hair, that is ours. Who is this fool? Who is this demonic Akrura to steal our Krishna from us? How will we survive? And they got angry and they got emotional and they started to get vexed amongst themselves. And then the older one said, he has to go. That's his family. He will go. But did you see how easy he is giving up us? How easy, without a second thought. Without a second thought, he is walking away from us. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. In a different text, Radha is described as being one of the people who is grumbling here. Radha was older and she got married to somebody else, as per the shrap that Sudama had given. But she is still mentally, she's attached to him. So she was railing and bawling. In Brahmavaivat Puran, it is given that Nand had to go and see why this child bawling. And when he went, she says, he is mine, he is mine, he is mine. Why are you allowing him to leave? And Nand says, before you leave this place, go and see Radha. And something significant happens there that is not given in Bhagavad, and this is why I'm explaining it. When he went to see Radha, she says, you will take that bamboo. We talked about the bamboo and the bedi. You will take that bamboo flute and you will go and entice all the girls in Mathura. Because of the shrap, I can't get married to you. You will entice them and entangle them in your Maya, O Kanha. And I will be the pauper. I will have to stay here and my body will burn like fever until one day you come back first. And in that Brahmavaivat Puran discourse, Krishna takes the flute and he says, Radha, you hold on to this for me. From today, so long as we are separated, I will not play the bansuri anymore. I will not touch it. You keep it. And when the day comes for me to return to you, then I will take it from you. It is here that he leaves the bansuri in Vrindavan. And when he goes to Mathura and he builds Dwarka and he goes to the Mahabharat war, he has the Sudarshan Chakra in his hand. He goes to battle. He's holding on to the horses for Arjun, but his hands never hold that flute again. Brahmavaivat says when the signal was given that it was time for Krishna to leave the earth, it is dealt with a little bit in the next canto of this Bhagavad. He went back to Vrindavan and he tells Radha and Nand, it is time for you all to leave. That the sin that Devaki and Vasudeva have, they will live to see me die. Vasudeva and Devaki did not have it nice. They get to hear that Krishna is no longer on the earth, but he did not want to do that to Nanda and Yashoda. So he tells them, all the people inside Vrindavan, go with Radha and go to Golok now, before I give up, before Dwarka is destroyed, before I give up this form. That discourse, we'll deal with it later on in this year. But he goes and he hands over the flute, and Radha did keep it. And as he mounted that chariot, all of them were crying. Some of them run out behind him. Nand walks with him. He says, son, you stay on the chariot. This is your place. I will walk. I will walk with all the bull carts with the milk and the dahi. A big entourage is going from the village. And when, after going for some time, it was time for Akrura to get his blessing, because of how his persona was, Lord Krishna wanted to give him darshan. So Akrura says, dear nephew, Prabhu, let us stop here for a while to get rest on a big banyan tree for shade purpose. Let the animals rest. And whilst he says, Krishna, you remain here, guard the chariot. I am going to have bath in the Yamuna so I can do my evening prayer and so on. And when Akrura went to bathe in that Yamuna, this is the moment Lord Vishnu wanted to reveal himself to him. By seeing the murti, the form of God, the person gets the vardhan, the blessing that you and I need to get liberation, not only from trouble, not only from hardship, but even from this life, from this existence. But when a person, and you know some of this, when a person is going through the world of terror and pain, Prabhu comes in dream. He comes in the form of rain to give you a little signal. I am watching you. I am seeing what you are doing and I accept it. I accept you. And the message is transferred from God to the dasi, to the person who does the prayer. It is time for this leela to unfold. Let's hear what happens. Nanda Dulari Radha Pyari Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dulari Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dulari Radha Pyari Radha Pyari Kunja Vihari Kauraksha Kunda Yamuna Nadi Akrura Darshan Bho Tehi Swegat Skandha Yena Swayati Nanda Yatau Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare. Imagine the person went in the water and I'm bathing in the Yamuna, I'm saying my mantra. This Yamuna is called Ananta Tirat, where they stop, where Sheshnag descended in one Katha. So he thinks to himself, if I bathe here, I will get great amount of blessing. That this life will bring merit, good things, goodness. And when he went in the water, he's talking to Lord Vishnu. He left Krishna by the tree, but he continues to talk to him. He says, Mahavishnu, oh, look, a sinner come to bathe in you now. Look, a sinful person come. Look all the bad people I associate with. I work for sinful people. But today, I'm coming to take a dip. Please, take away this history. Take away all this burden and purify this sinner. Hoya ye na ye saudra Sakshi soya ye ati Sedya charana ye ati Tipar ye ati Akrura yati Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama Murari Nanda Dhulare Radha Pyare Kunja Vihari Shama
Bihari Lal ki jai. In that water, feeling very sorry for himself, feeling ashamed that I am going through this predicament because I'm conflicted because of who I am and who I associate with. Because of all the bad things that cunts do, I am going to pay for it by proxy. By association, I have become a sinner. But dear God, some good I did. Today, look, I am transporting you. Please, please rid me of my history. Take away all the pain, all the shame, all the hurt. Take away all of these things. And when he went into the water, it was as if the tail of Sheshnag wrapped around his foot and pulled him under. And in the jolt, in the shock, he became very afraid. But when he went under the water, to his surprise, in this moment he saw the darshan, the vision of Lord Vishnu. He saw the huge form of Sheshnag with all the heads hissing. The tail is still by his foot. And if for a moment he's able to witness this form with the doubt, with the awe, this inspiring moment, so many hoods, heads of Sheshnag. And then he saw a blue fella wearing this yellow dhoti. His body is resting on the soft part of Sheshnag, the belly. His body is pressing into the body of Sheshnag. And all the devatas surround him. In that moment, the darshan, or the vision of Lord Vishnu gave to this person a change that he wanted. A change that maybe he did not know how to achieve. That by the vision and the darshanam of seeing the form, the true form of Lord Vishnu, no matter the mistakes, the karmic actions and reactions that are there. In this moment, Lord Krishna gives him the prayers that he had. Take away the pain, take away the suffering, take away the guilt of all that I have done. Rid me of this pain and trouble. When Lord Vishnu looked at him and smiled, he got the opportunity to put his hands together. And he says, Prabhu, you are attended by Shri Devi Lakshmi, Pushti, the goddess of nourishment, Saraswati, the goddess of speech, Kanti, the goddess of goodliness and beautifulness, Kirti, Tushti, Illa, Urja, Vidya. He starts to say his prayers. If you and I dream something horrific, not everybody has the darshan in that scary moment. Om Namah Shivaya. And you start to talk to God, because I'm so accustomed talking to God. When bad things are happening, what happens to you? What do you remember? What do you go to? If the Jap bite you now, test yourself. The Jap bite you, the accident happened, the child disappoint you. What comes to your mouth or mind? This person has the darshan of Lord Vishnu, and he didn't become dumb and mute. But in that moment, he started to, like an eloquent singer, he started to write the poetry of what he was seeing. And had the moment to utilize that moment to get to say the prayer. Some people, if I only just think about the prayer, I was bleeding in that moment and the pain, and I couldn't think about anything else. You don't know when trouble will come. You don't know when difficulty will come. And the person doesn't train themselves to have or to harness that love. That in the jap, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Purnima, your Guru mantra, would it come to you, or would you in that dire moment, where's that mantra again? And I say it every time we have puja in the house. For one day, for the whole year, I will say that one day. And the day the chest pain ring, and I get the pain, and I feel like now the life coming out of my body. Now I need the mantra. In Mahabharat, Karna did the same thing. But he didn't have the blessing that when that moment comes, they say, blessed is the person who could think about this in your last moment.
that where you think about is where you're going. Think about Krishna, think about his name, his form, his force, his Katha, and that is where you're going. Akrura is not dying, but in that moment, not knowing what tomorrow come, if my life had to come out of my body right now, Prabhu. Looking at you in this moment, in this vision, I see it all. And I bow to you, I pray to you, I accept you without any hesitation, shame, or any type of hindrance. Who is the biggest hindrance in your development? You. You know what people say, Baba, I can't sing any praise. You hear, I just croak, you know. Baba let them go in front and offer the flowers. And you don't think that you're sitting in a place, you're eating in a place, you're praying in a place that was afforded to you because of your karma, your work faith. And now you get it in your hand and just take the flowers and offer it by your foot. Say the prayer in the privacy of your mind, nobody here had to hear you. And you say, no, don't do it. Imagine how nice it would have been if I said, as the host, don't pray here, you know. And you blame me. Pundits say we can't say prayers here. It would have been nice. But now when you become the block in your own life, where you going to say to that? What prayers you could do? What puja? Tell me what flag to put up? What parsad to share to counteract that? Where the opportunity, God say you wanted it, and you wanted 2 hands to hold the flowers to offer the dar. Look the lingam there. Look, everything ready for you. Go and do it. Get through. And inside of you, now in the moment you reach to do it, give the charity, feed the bird, do something, do it. And in that moment of test, imagine Krishna is watching you. And what you do? Don't do it. Don't do it. Better we do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we go do it. As if you know you have a tomorrow. As if you could check Patra and say for sure, I'll be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll do it then. Akrura, he talks about all of this. He says, I don't know if I'll have another moment. I don't know if I'll be able to breathe air. Remember, in the water. I don't know if I'll be able to breathe air one more time. But if this is the moment that you accept me, just as you accepted all the different demons before, if it is time now for this sinner to come home, Prabhu, I am ready. I am not going to fail in this moment. I am not going to cause my own soul to burn. Take me now. Thank you for the vision that I see you and I am not afraid. If I were going, maybe a sinner like me, oh God, Prabhu, don't take me now, you know. I had to go and tell Priya we had to paint this wall. I had to go and show Priya with the deed day. I had to tell she with the key day. Lord, I had to kiss my wife one more time. Watch how I sin at this thing. But this fella says, Prabhu, if you're ready for me, may I study in the keys, may I study in the money, the spouse, may I study in the vice, may I study in all of the avarice, all the different things that we hold on to. Kans is holding on to that crown on his head like they have tomorrow. He's the opposite to this guy. He is thinking sickness, death, difficulty will never come. But the prayer of the prayerful person is, if this be my last morning, imagine yourself, put your hand together and you're facing your son. What do we learn from this exercise? Think about how you pray. Pray. Learn to do as if this is your last opportunity, and it will change, it will guide every single choice. The words, the way you cheat, the way you thief. Imagine I was selling dal. And I used to, rob people with the dal, the scale. If this is my last day, I don't feel I could do that. I used to cheat in my marriage, you know what? This is my last day. Going and buck up, going and change. The dog thirsty, you know what? I'm going to have compassion today. You just see it in people, you see the day for the prayers, that is be different. They have prayers by the house today. Imagine if every day you could have been that person. Not only fasting, fasting is one. That's a physical sacrifice. Some people are ready for it, not everybody is. But imagine if just for your dog, for your parents, for your spouse, and you choose to do it right because he is watching it, and you could live right. Then your prayers come part of your life. And not only moments when I'm in Shalwar and Kurta by a baby with red powder. Then the prayers really come home. Guiding your life like that. Akrura says, because of my devotion, because devotion, my bhakti, the darshan, I know I'm liberated today. Dear God, I surrender myself to you. And when he says it, Vishnu Baba disappears and Akrura come back to the surface. Confused, I thought I was going. But Lord Krishna wasn't finished with him yet. He still has to take him to reach. He remembers the work now. Long forget about Kans. He says, I have to reach them to Kans, to Mathura. And when he came back, to his surprise, Krishna and Balram prop up under the tree as if nothing happened. They are not wet. They are not affected. They are none the wiser. Nothing happened until they reach back. And in the heart of this person, when God, Sukdev Goswami tells Parikshit, when God activates in the life of a devotee, he pays attention to the workings of that God. You are no longer just running through motions and moments. But now you see where God is working. You know, that could have been worse. That could have turned out different. I could have behaved different. How it was different. God is at work here. Akrura admits how much mistakes he has made. And he doesn't want to make that mistake anymore. Vrindavan Hari Lal Ki Jai. Put your hands together as we do the Ashirvad for this discourse. Namo Vijnana Matra Sarva Prathaye Akrura Purushaye Namani Namani Papani He Krishna Namaste Vasudevaya Sarva Bhutakshayascha Rishikeshaya Namastubhyam Pranana Pahi Mam He Prabhu. Verse 30 of chapter 40. He says, Prabhu, I will live. In his prayer, he says, I will live. And in living, I will live for you. I will do for you. And he prays to him continuously. Goswami, Sukdev Goswami says, blessed is the person that accepts this discourse in their ear, in their mind. They use this example of Akrura to take the bhakti, to see it. We learn by watching what others do. We absorb, we practice what others do. So Vedvyas puts it in a way that Akrura is doing what we should do. And the listening public, the person who is listening to this example and practices this way of prayer, this method of prayer, no matter your burden of sin, no matter your history, that person will gain the Ashirvad, the Vardhan, the vision of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu in his or her life and gain the mukti because of it. Vrindavan Hari Lal Ki Jai. This brings us to the end of our third session, everybody. Where we go from here is Akrura puts them back on the chariot and they make their way. They make their way to the arena, to the place where they are going. And there now, we'll continue in the morning what happens when they arrive at the city of Mathura. Prem Sabolo Vrindavan Hari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we conclude this evening with his arti. Put your hands together. And having prayed for this period of time, having done your Sumiran, having listened to the Katha of Akrura, the many instances of Lord Krishna's work, take a second and just say a prayer, not for anybody else, but for yourself. As you learn more and more, as you are walking away with more information about your Kanha, your Krishna, as your body is full, your mind is full, dear Lord, fill me with your devotion, that when the days of tests, when trouble, when hard days come, bless me to know what is to be done. Guide me, God. Karpura Gaudam Karunavataram Sansara Sadam Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridaya Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan Ki Hey Aarti. Everybody.
पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती,
ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मोक्ष पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव जोत जगाने वाला।
ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मोक्ष पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योत जगाने वाला।
हरि ज्ञान यही वर ज्ञान यही,
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही,
जग की मंगल के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती,
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरिधर से दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती,
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती,
ये मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल, सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग पंड को सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
राम यही घनश्याम यही,
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती। Everybody.
पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ओम नमो नारायण, हरि ओम नमो नारायण, ओम Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. 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 Har Har Hari Om 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 Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Standing right where you are. Keep your eyes closed. Nobody are watching you. Sing with me just a little bit. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Together everybody. Tvameva Mata.
Pita Tvameva
Tvameva Bandhuscha.
Sakha Tvameva
Tvameva Vidya.
Dravinam Tvameva
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Together. Om Shanti. Everybody. Shanti. Shanti. Hari Om. Prem Solomapati Mahadeva ki. Pawana Putra Hanumana ki. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram everybody. Please have your seat.